Hey guys, so I have the Tamron 24-70 f2.8 VC, which is basically stabilization lens. It's not the G2. And then here I have the Canon 24-70 f2.8 version 2. Now, I've sold this. I'm going to box it up and ship it out to get this. And I want to explain why, because it's not what you might think. So there's no question that this is probably the very sharpest 24-70 lens on the market. It's just extraordinary. I've only had it a couple of days, but I can see that the sharpness is really incredible. So yeah, that's important, but that's not why I decided to get this over this. This is the zoom ring, right? This is the focus ring. Now this lens has manual focus override. In other words, even in autofocus, when you turn the focus ring, you can override the autofocus. So that's typically a good thing, but here's the problem I've had with this lens. The focus ring is near the camera body, so I suspect that one of the reasons I was missing focus is because I'm in the middle of trying to get a shot. I'm not really thinking that much. I'm holding the camera like this, and I'm touching the focus ring. So if I'm touching it and it's trying to focus, I've actually disabled autofocus because of manual focus override. That's my theory why I was missing focus. I don't know for sure. I do know that on critical shots, I was missing focus, and I didn't really notice it until I would get home and put them up on my computer and see, oh my God, that image is soft and that image is soft. And these were critical images that I needed, right? The design of the Tamron lens, having the focus ring so close to the camera body, is to me a major design flaw. The zoom ring on the Canon lens is by the camera body. The focus ring is out by the front lens element. So it's almost impossible. You'd have to try to accidentally touch the focus ring, if that makes any sense. I haven't actually used this lens at an event yet, but already I can tell it's just spot on, super fast, split-second focus with this lens. Now, here's the downside. Unlike the Tamron, the Canon does not have stabilization. Will I miss the stabilization? Absolutely. I have to say, I'm already frustrated with this lens, the Canon 24-70, because, you know, in low light situations where I can use a slow shutter to keep my ISO value down, I'm getting camera shake. You know, I mean, stabilization is great. It works wonderfully. And when you don't have it, you miss it. So that has been my biggest issue with this lens, but at the end of the day I had to decide what was more important. So sharpness, absolutely, and the Tamron lens, when it grabbed focus, was very sharp. I had no issues with sharpness really, but like I said, sometimes I just couldn't get focus at all. Now what really tipped the scales for me is because yes, this lens is a lot more expensive. It's now retailing for $18.99. However, at the moment, toward the end of December, Canon is offering a $300 rebate. I happened to buy this lens with that rebate, plus at B&H Photo they were having a one-day $200 rebate on top of the $300 rebate. So then I had a $250 debit card rebate from Canon for something else. So that brought the price down even more. And then I sold one of my camera bodies, my 5D Mark II, which hurt because I love that camera. And I sold this lens. So basically I was able to get this lens, my out-of-pocket cost, $100 and change. That's really what tipped the scales for me to decide to ultimately buy this lens. The reason I'm making this video is because, you know, it's never a clear-cut thing, right? It's never, oh, well, it's obvious. If Canon made this lens with stabilization, it would be an obvious choice. But not having stabilization made it very hard for me to ultimately decide to sell my Tamron lens. So anyway, this video isn't a comparison between the two lenses. There's plenty of videos out on that. You can find any number of videos talking about the image quality of the Canon and the image quality of the Tamron, etc., etc. My issue wasn't image quality, so there's no sense in making a video about that. My issue is really more of a functional issue, and in my situation, this lens just made more sense. There you go, guys. Hope you found this helpful. See you next time. Bye.